Have you ever wondered, if at the very beginning there was no money, no banks, how did our economy ever start to work? Why is it that today, even working flat out every single day, we still feel like money is never enough? To the point where buying a home of your own has become an impossible dream? Every day we hear words like capital, credit, productivity on the financial news, and feel they're worlds away from us. But in truth, the rules of how an economy runs are quietly deciding your quality of life every moment. This is top-tier logic. I'm Mojo. We see through the logic of money, because wealth is the only chip, to real freedom in this brutal world. Today we're following Peter Schiff, the Wall Street veteran who accurately predicted the 2008 financial crisis, and his book, How an Economy Grows, back to a deserted island with only 3 people. With the simplest story, you'll watch with your own eyes how wealth is built from zero by human hands. The story takes place on a remote, isolated island. In the beginning, the island had only 3 men: Abel, Baker. Life was brutal. The only food on the island was one kind of big fish. Every day, all 3 caught fish by hand, working from dawn to dusk. Each one caught exactly 1 fish, and that fish was just enough to feed him for a day. Wake up, catch fish, eat fish, sleep, day after day. No one had a surplus. Everyone lived on the edge of survival. Until one day, Abel got fed up with this life, and an idea struck him. But weaving this trap would cost him an entire day, which meant he couldn't fish that day, and he'd go hungry. Baker and Charlie thought he was crazy, but Abel endured the hunger and forced that fish trap into existence. This was the single greatest first step in all of economics. Through self-sacrifice, through hunger, Abel created capital. In economics, capital means a tool that creates more value for us. And this is my first point. The poor fear short-term loss, selling raw labor day after day. But the rich understand delayed gratification. They're willing to sacrifice today's comfort to build capital that lifts their future efficiency. The next day, a miracle happened. With his fish trap, Abel caught 2 fish in a single hour. Since he only ate 1 a day, he saved the extra one. From this moment on, the island had savings. And this is my second point. Never underestimate that 1 extra fish. Savings is the bedrock of the island's entire economic takeoff. Because of that 1 saved fish, Abel wouldn't starve the next day, even without fishing. He could take the extra time to work on something else. In real life, this is exactly why paycheck-to-paycheck people can never break free. If you spend every dollar you earn each month, you'll never have the breathing room to improve yourself or hunt for better chances. The rich know saving isn't about hoarding. It's about buying future time and productivity. Seeing how powerful Abel's trap was, Baker and Charlie wanted one too, but they had no savings and didn't want to starve. So they asked Abel, "Could you lend us your saved fish so we can eat while we build our own traps?" Abel agreed. But he understood lending out fish carries the risk that they can't pay him back. So he asked that Baker and Charlie repay 1 extra fish later as compensation for the risk he took. And right here, lending and interest were officially born in the economy. Abel lent 2 fish and got 4 back, a rich reward. And Baker and Charlie paid interest, but they got their fish traps and their future output would soar. Many poor people despise debt, seeing borrowing as a sin, but the rich see credit as the engine that drives an economy at high speed. As long as the money you borrow goes into expanding productivity or appreciating assets, paying reasonable interest can bring you huge gains years ahead of time. All right, now all 3 on the island have fish traps, each easily catching several fish a day, and suddenly time was abundant. What happened next is the real key to the island's prosperity. This is my 4th point: division of labor and trade. Abel stopped fishing every day. He spent his extra time figuring out how to build a boat to catch bigger fish in the deep sea. Baker found he had a gift for cooking, so he specialized in his craft, making the fish unbelievably delicious. And Charlie was skilled with his hands. He started building huts and making tools. Did you notice? They no longer all did the same thing. Each did what he was best at, and then they traded with each other. Abel used his big fish to trade for Baker's cuisine and Charlie's house. This is division of labor. This is specialization. The father of economics, Adam Smith, exposed this truth long ago. When everyone focuses on what they do best and trades freely to share, the total wealth the group creates vastly exceeds the sum of everyone working alone. No matter how capable one person is, his time and ability are limited. But through division of labor and trade, the island's productivity was multiplied. This is also why no one in modern society is fully self-sufficient. Every one of us trades our expertise. This great web of exchange is the very essence of prosperity. Now we've reached the part where I show you the deepest objective law behind this little island. This is the fifth point. What truly makes an economy rich was never money. Think back on the island's whole road to riches. Did they get rich because there were more fish? No. They got rich because they invented the fish trap, built the boat, learned a division of labor, so at the same time, produced far more fish. They got rich from rising productivity. This seems simple, yet it's where most people get it wrong. Many believe wealth is the cash in your pocket, that if money grows, but the island's story tells us money is merely a tool. If the island's fish don't increase, printing more fish reserve notes won't add a single real fish. For a nation's economy to keep growing, it ultimately relies on innovation and rising productivity, not on printing money. The poor stare at the numbers of cash in hand, but the rich stare at how to lift efficiency, how to create real value. Because they know printing money is easy, but growing the pie of productivity is the true root of wealth. Seeing this, take a moment to examine where you stand right now. Are you like the islanders at the start of the story, burning all your labor just to survive, never once stopping to build yourself a fish trap? Remember, the economy was never some mysterious art. It's simply a true reflection of human desire and resource allocation. Starting today, learn delayed gratification. Boldly sacrifice meaningless short-term spending and turn the saved resources. Don't fear reasonable borrowing. Learn to use credit to expand your productivity. And above all, find the one thing you do best, deepen it, then use it to trade with the world. The start of wealth springs from the sacrifice of delayed gratification, and the root of wealth is creating more value. Understand how this little island was built by hand, and you'll understand the wealth code of the entire world. If this episode helped you, please subscribe to Top Tier Logic, hit like, and ring the bell. Next time, we keep uncovering the logic behind wealth. I'm Mojo. See you in the next one.